This story begins in the year 1823, in a dense forest, where we see some hunters. One of them is a man named Hugh Glass, who has come here with his son for hunting. While they are deep in the forest, a tribal group suddenly attacks them and kills many of their people. The reason for the attack is that the tribal chief's daughter has been kidnapped, and they believe these hunters are responsible for it. After the attack, only 10 of them are left alive. These 10 people quickly get on their boat and escape, but the danger is not over yet. They know that this whole area belongs to the tribe, and the tribe might be watching their boat from somewhere along the river, ready to attack at any moment. Everyone is confused and doesn't know what to do. At that moment, their leader turns to Glass and asks, "What should we do?" Glass says that they should leave the boat and walk through the land. But one man in their group doesn't agree with Glass. He says that if they go by land, the tribe will catch and kill them quickly. Also, the land route is very long, and it will take them many weeks to reach home. But the captain says that Glass knows this area very well, and now it's his responsibility to get them home safely. They all decide to travel by land. They leave the boat and let it float away so the tribe will find it far ahead, while they quietly move away. After getting off the boat, they hide their animal skins under rocks, so that if they ever return to this place, they can find them again. Then, they start walking through the forest. The biggest problem is the deadly cold. Their journey will take many weeks, and they will have to face the freezing weather. But they have no other choice, so they all get ready to fight the cold. They keep walking through the dense forest. At night, they sleep in the forest, and when they wake up the next morning, they see that their boat, the decision to leave the boat was completely right, because the tribe reaches the boat. When they see that no one is on the boat, they understand that the group is trying to walk home through the forest. One of the tribe members says that they found footprints going north. So the tribe decides to follow the footprints and head north. On the other side, Glass and his group keep moving north. After walking the whole day, they set up a camp at night. In the morning, Glass wakes up first. He picks up his gun and goes for a walk in the forest. While walking, he feels like someone is nearby. Glass becomes alert. Suddenly, he sees some bear cubs in front of him. But before Glass can leave, the mother bear attacks him. Glass drops his gun, and the bear badly injures him. Glass is now completely wounded. The bear moves a little away, and Glass, with great difficulty, picks up his gun. But the bear attacks him again. The bear is very powerful, so the bullet doesn't hurt him much. The bear leaves Glass almost dead and walks away again. Glass only has a knife left. He struggles to pull it out. The bear is also weak now, but for the third time it attacks Glass again. While the bear is attacking him, Glass keeps stabbing it with the knife. They both roll down a slope, and the bear falls on top of Glass. But the bear dies, while Glass is almost dead. The bear has torn his throat completely, and he is crying in pain. Just then, Glass's companions find him. They see the bear lying on top of him. They struggle to lift the bear off Glass and take him with them. One of the men starts stitching Glass's wounds. His throat is completely torn, he has deep wounds all over his body, and his leg is broken, he can't even walk. The group believes that Glass might not survive for even an hour. They believe Glass can't survive. On the other side, the tribe that wanted to kill them trades the hunters' animal skins for guns and horses. Earlier, the tribe only had bows and arrows. But now they have guns and horses, making the danger even worse. The 9 men build a wooden stretcher for Glass, place him on it, and start moving forward. But the path ahead is steep, and carrying Glass up the slope is almost impossible. The captain tells one of the men to cover Glass's face. He is about to shoot Glass because he thinks Glass can't survive, is in pain, and taking him out of the forest seems impossible. Glass's son begs them not to do it. The captain feels pity because Glass saved them all. The captain tells his men that whoever stays with Glass will get $70 from the Rocky Mountain Fur Company to honor Glass's efforts. They want Glass to die a natural death and give him a proper funeral. Glass's son says he will stay, and another young man offers to stay too, even if he doesn't get the $70. One of the men, named Fitzgerald Fitz, tells the captain that $70 is too little. The captain agrees to raise it to $100. But Glass's son and the young man say Fitz can take their share too. Fitz then says he will stay for $300. Fitz thinks that with $300 he can buy his own house, so he agrees to stay with Glass. Before continuing the story, I kindly request you all, 99% of viewers watch the videos but don't subscribe or like. So please, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, Glass, his son, the young man, and Fitz stay behind while the rest of the group moves on. Glass's condition is very bad, and it seems like he might die in a day or two. But Glass keeps surviving. One evening when Glass is alone, Fitz comes to him and says, "Why don't you just die? Because of you, we're all in danger. If the tribe finds us, they will kill everyone. You can save your son and us by dying. I'm going to close your nose and mouth. Blink your eyes and give me permission." But Glass doesn't blink. Fitz says, "You don't need to blink," and starts closing Glass's nose and mouth. Glass struggles and starts dying. Just then, Glass's son sneaks up and hits Fitz hard on the head with the back of a gun. Fitz falls far away. The son tries to explain why he attacked, but then points the gun at Fitz. However, Fitz snatches the gun and pulls out a knife. He stabs Glass's son, killing him. Glass, with his throat already torn, can't even scream. His leg is broken and he is half dead, so he can't help his son. He just watches his son die helplessly. Fitz drags the son's body behind a slope to hide it, so the third boy won't see it when he comes back. When the boy returns, Glass can't tell him what happened because he can't speak. That night, Fitz and Bridger go to sleep. The next morning, Fitz whispers in Bridger's ear. There are about 20 tribesmen nearby, and they are heading this way. Bridger gets scared and asks, "Where is Hawk?" Fitz lies and says, "If he's alive, he'll find us." The boy says, "Glass is still alive, and we promised the captain we'd bury him properly after he dies." Hearing this, Fitz gets angry. He drags Glass roughly, even though Glass is already covered in wounds and screaming in pain. Fitz pulls him to a shallow grave he dug and starts throwing dirt on him. Fitz says, "He will die today or tomorrow anyway, so we'll fulfill our promise and give him a proper burial." He throws some dirt on Glass and tells Bridger to leave quickly. Bridger doesn't want to go, but he is scared for his life. He leaves his water bottle on Glass's body and follows Fitz. Not knowing Fitz lied, there were no tribes nearby. Now Glass is completely alone. He's barely alive, buried under dirt. He lies there for hours, suffering. But eventually, he gathers all his strength and crawls out of the grave. Dragging himself through the forest, he reaches the place where his son's body is hidden. Glass lays his head on his son's chest and stays there for hours, grieving silently. Later, hunger forces him to move again. He drags himself to a spot where he finds an old carcass. He breaks a bone, and there is some dried meat inside it. He eats it, and then crawls to the edge of a hill. He sees a river below and with great difficulty keeps crawling until he reaches the riverbank. When he drinks water, it starts leaking from his neck because his neck is cut. Now, Glass has some gunpowder to start a fire. He puts a little bit of gunpowder on his neck wound, then he lights a fire and burns his neck. The gunpowder sparks, and the fire burns his wound. He does this so the burning will seal his wound. But when the fire touches his neck, he feels unbearable pain and faints. After that, Glass stays near the river for many days. He drinks water and eats grass to survive. One day, some tribal people come to the riverbank. Before they can kill Glass, he jumps into the river and swims away. He drifts to the other side of the river and stays there for a few more days. Many days pass, and his wounds slowly heal. He can now walk a little with the help of a wooden stick. Because he is near the river, he never lacks water, but he still doesn't get enough food. Sometimes he catches a small fish, just enough to stay alive. One night, when he is sleeping, he sees flames in the distance. He goes toward the fire and finds a man who has hunted a big animal and is eating it. When the man sees Glass, he points his bow and arrow at him. Glass signals to him, saying he needs food. He shows his injuries and explains that a wild bear attacked him. His people left him to die, and they even killed his son. The man listens to Glass and shares his food. He tells Glass that his entire village and family were burned and killed by people. The man says Glass can travel with him. They continue their journey together, and since the man has a horse, their travel becomes easier. Meanwhile, on the other side, Fitzgerald and the boy who had left Glass to die. While they are traveling, the boy realizes from Fitzgerald's words that there were no tribal people, and Fitzgerald had lied to save his own life. The boy points a gun at him, but Fitzgerald tricks him with his words and convinces him to continue their journey. As they move forward, they pass through a village that has been completely destroyed. All the people in the village are dead. They find 2 horses there and ride them to their destination. Before entering the place, Fitzgerald tells the boy never to tell the truth. He warns that if people find out the truth, they will hang them. Then Fitzgerald and the boy go to the captain. The captain and his team had reached there before them. The captain, keeping his promise, gives both of them $100 each, but the boy refuses to take the money and leaves. Fitzgerald tells the captain that the boy is in shock because of what happened during the journey, and that's why he's acting this way. Fitzgerald then takes the boy's share of the money and leaves. The boy feels guilty deep inside because he knows they did something they shouldn't have done. Meanwhile, Glass continues his journey through the snow with the man. A snowstorm starts, and Glass, already sick and with rotting wounds, faints. The man builds a small wooden hut for Glass. He removes Glass's clothes, puts him inside and covers him from all sides. Then he lights a fire to keep Glass warm. The next morning, when Glass wakes up, he looks around, but the man is nowhere to be found. Glass walks a little further and sees that the man has been hanged from a tree. The French people had done this. Now, Glass makes his way to the horses. The Frenchman was forcing himself on a girl. Glass saves the girl from the man and shoots a few people, then escapes with his horse. After running away, Glass spends the night under a tree. When morning comes, he sees that the tribal people are about to catch up with him. He shoots at them and rides away on his horse. But now the tribesmen also have horses, so they chase him. There is a mountain in front of him and a cliff below, but Glass cannot stop. If he stops, they will shoot him. So Glass jumps off the cliff with his horse. He crashes into a tree and falls into the snow. The horse dies from the fall, but Glass is still alive. Even though he survived the fall, he cannot survive the cold. He had been using the bear skin to protect himself, but now he lost it. To stay alive, Glass cuts open the horse's belly, removes all the meat, and sleeps inside the horse's body. He knows that if he stays outside, he will die from the cold. He somehow spends the whole night inside the horse. Meanwhile, we see that the place Glass is trying to reach has already been reached by the boy and the other people. A French survivor comes to them asking for shelter. In return, the people ask him for some money. The man doesn't have much money, so he gives them some coins and a bottle. That bottle is the same one Bridger had placed next to Glass before leaving him. Bridger believes that Glass is probably dead, but his son Hawk might still be alive. The man says he found the bottle 30 miles away, where someone had dropped it. Bridger, thinking Hawk might be alive, sets out with some people to find him. But Fitzgerald realizes that if the bottle is there, Glass might still be alive. Now, the captain, Bridger, and a few people go to the place where they found the bottle. When they reach the spot, they see Glass. The captain is completely shocked because Bridger and Fitz had said that Glass was dead. As soon as he sees Glass, the captain orders to arrest Bridger. He returns to the camp, angry, and starts looking for Fitz, but Fitz is nowhere to be found. The captain searches everywhere, but Fitz is missing. When the captain goes to his room, he sees that Fitz has stolen all the money from his safe and run away. The captain decides that he will personally catch Fitz because Fitz killed Glass's son and stole the money. Glass says he will go with the captain. He also tells the captain that Bridger didn't know anything about his son's murder. Fitz had lied to him. Then, Glass and the captain start looking for Fitz by following the horse tracks. They follow the tracks for a long time, but eventually, the tracks disappear. So they decide to split up. While searching, the captain is suddenly caught at gunpoint by Fitz, who comes out from behind a big rock. The captain tells Fitz that he is accused of murder and must return with him, but Fitz refuses and shoots the captain. Glass hears the gunshot and rushes to the spot, only to find the captain's dead body. No one else is around. Glass breaks a large branch and ties it to the captain's back to keep it straight. Then he places the captain's body on a horse and lies down like a corpse on the second horse himself. When Fitz sees them from a distance, he thinks the man in front is Glass, and the body at the back is the captain's corpse. Fitz shoots at the man in front, who falls off the horse. Fitz believes Glass is finally dead. Slowly, Fitz comes closer to the body. When he reaches it and turns it over, he sees that it's the captain. At that moment, Glass rises from the horse behind and starts shooting at Fitz. One bullet hits Fitz in the shoulder, but he manages to escape. Glass chases him, and after a long chase, they reach the edge of a river. There, they have a brutal fight, and both get seriously injured. While they are fighting, they see the same Native American tribe appear on the other side of the river, the same people who wanted to kill them. Just when Glass is about to kill Fitz, he suddenly remembers the man who once gave him food. That man had told Glass, "Revenge is in God's hands, not man's." So instead of killing Fitz, Glass lets him float away in the river. Fitz reaches the other side, where the Native Americans catch him and kill him. After that, the tribe crosses the river and reaches Glass. But they don't harm him because they found their lost daughter, the same girl Glass had saved from the French men. Let me know what story you want to hear next. Comment below because I read all your comments and truly appreciate your love and support.